Well, dang it. Here it's supposed to rain today. And yeah, it's clouded. The moon, oh, it's coming back. It was just there. There it is. I literally just saw it plain as day and turned the video on and it wasn't there at all. Cat there. Red man sleeping there. Little turkeys in there running around. And Blue just got out of bed and came over, so. Old tanker boy got to empty his tank. And going by sound, since I can't see anything, the travelers maybe not quite in. It's got to be close though. I need to go check because I don't want to soak that too much. And I woke up and Becky wasn't in bed because apparently she woke up when Ty was puking, and I was lazy last night, didn't get my coffee going, and so now that's what I'm waiting on. But it's almost done. Yeah, it looks like it's got another hour, I suppose, which is fine. I don't think it's shooting far enough to interfere with Asplin trimming those trees. And it should be in before they get here. Okay, well, it's shooting to about the second steel post, so about there. Yeah. Even if they were trimming right now, it wouldn't bug them. And dang it, I missed Blakely this morning. I could hear Brooks pick up, then I heard her leave. Oh well. And I forgot I left my bike out at the end of the patio last night. And the clouds obviously didn't come in before the dew set, so I had to find a towel and clean it up. But it's getting a little lighter out. They're all still over there. My plan was to move them to the three-corner piece. And then when this is done, move it to the next riser. But since they're all still out there, they didn't come in, and if there's not a lot there for them, they'll be in eating on the big bales. We'll leave them there another day or two, whatever it takes. Well, that thing's ready to move. The 29 cranks to bring it in, so that's like 10 feet, maybe 12 feet. It's all it was in the end. But Asplin is here, and they're down there getting ready to start. I think they're kind of doing a attack plan. Oh, I see him flying through the air. I don't know if you can see him or not. See if I can find him. Hey, there he is. And of course, these girls, part of them are up at the barn, part of them are out here. They all think they need new pasture, and I just rode around the pasture they're in, debating on if I move them now. But I'm not going to go back down and start the pump back up while they're here. I'm going to stay out of their way. And if the pump ain't running, any sawdust isn't going to get sucked into the suction line like before. So, and there's one of those new cows' babies. So I'm just going to let them, they got another couple days at least out there. It's supposed to rain today, and then God knows what. Becky thought when Asplin was at the top of the driveway, it was the tow truck to get the Tahoe, but I haven't got a phone call yet. We're an hour into their scheduled pickup time, 7 to 11. And I kind of figured Asplin would be here early. Of course, when they come into a place, they have to put their sign at the top of the driveway, that they're working. Another good reason to have the pump off while they're doing this is, they're taking stuff down as safely as they can, and the big thing is get it on the ground. I would imagine they'll probably chip some and take it with them, but most of it they're going to leave here. And if they flip a piece down and happen to hit the pipe and split a pipe or something, then, we don't have a big mess. I just have a pipe to fix. There you go, a view from here. I know I'm shaky, but I got a kid on the other arm, and she's kind of shaking me a little. The crew foreman, chief, whatever. He's the one up in the bucket. The one closest to the truck, he's the laborer. He don't speak no English. And the other one, he's the truck driver / laborer. I think maybe the truck driver / laborer might go up in the bucket too. I don't know. I know they're supposed to have 2 of them that can anyway. And cows decided to go back out. That was a good bang. It must be to where he's knocking some off, because I didn't see him throw a piece. There I saw him throw a piece though. He's actually got about half the top of that tree out. The bad thing is that's all the higher he can go, I think. He can't get any closer to go any higher. Well, that's what they're doing. And Blakely and I came out here because, well, Ty's guts are still being very nasty to her. She's like me. When she pukes, it comes from her toenails all the way up. And Blakely is worried about tea. So, changed her mind, and she's enjoying watching these guys. She was intently watching them until I turned the camera on. Now she's staring at the camera. There we go, back to watching them. It sounds like Ty's done puking her guts out. What's she gonna do when she's older and don't have mama close? It's just like when she was a little kid screaming for mom. Well, I'm gonna say they're on their government mandated break because the door's open. Heard chainsaw down there and stuff. So they've done more than just take the tall stuff. I'm kind of hoping they're taking them down to the ground for me. And of course they have company. They're all in there with them. They're probably licking all over everything. That's what cows do. The guy we used to deal with when we had the neighbors out front, his dad had an airport over at Progress, and then when housing came out and surrounded him, he moved it. It's straight through that way, off River Road. I think his son runs it now. But anyway, Dad was spreading manure out in where the cows are in that hayfield. He flew over, flew a little cub. Thing would land almost everywhere. He landed, talked to Dad for about 15 minutes while the cows came and all the way around him. Literally slobbered all over the whole plane. He got back to the airport and had to clean it up, and he called Dad. He says, "Man, they sure make a mess." Incidentally, same guy landed on a little tiny sandbar in the Willamette River at Newburgh. That's been years ago. Somehow somebody ended up getting caught by a prop on a boat, sliced the shit out of their leg, and he happened to be flying over and kind of saw what happened. And he called what he could call in on the radio from the airplane, dropped down and helped get the guy packaged up and got him in his airplane and flew him to the Newburgh airport, where he met the fire department and ambulance. Incidentally, same guy also used to be at one point volunteer fire chief at the local station. I volunteered with him for a long time. Anyway, just little stories. Told me the other day I was going to take that top cage off of there, but there's absolutely nothing up in there anywhere. So that's obviously doing its job. Maybe if some engineer from New Holland happens to see this video, he ought to pull his head out of his ass and do the same thing. Because, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, how much of the screwed up drive lines, that short drive line was replaced, I think 4 times. How much of that is from crap getting packed up there or crap getting into it, and how much of it is just from power. But then when you look at how those two caps line up, since you can look at the grease zerk. It's twisted. I ain't gonna worry about it. It's still in one piece. That one's probably made it the longest of any of them so far. I thought I had to take it off because there's still some up there, but I just pulled that out of there. And seeds are back in there, and they're growing now. It's been sitting here long enough. And unfortunately, I'm 90% sure I'm going to be pulling the turtles off, because I can't get all that crap pulled out, so it's in tight. Being there, it's migrating in toward the seal. That stuff is just there. The tie bolt that holds the gearboxes together, it's against it. Do you want it there? No, but the only way, other than pull it out like this, the only other way to get that is pull the tie bolt out and let it drop out. I'm not pulling all the tie bolts out. And here you go. That's what's left under it. It's a little dust, little juice out of the plants, little dew, whatever else. So anyway, yeah, I didn't want to pull the turtles, but apparently I am. Yay. And Ty's been doing a very good job of puking her guts up today. And then I kind of wonder, because they gave her an Imodium when she was in the hospital. She has had one little tiny rabbit pellet since, but then of course it's not like she's eating. Nothing stays down. There's the stuff I've gotten out of what I can get, but I mean, I've already done this one with the pliers, and I can't get any more. And more stuff growing. I don't like going into winter with a bunch of seed stuck places, but that's a little cavity in there you can't get to clean out. That's the other thing, you know. Make as many of those spots as you can, so they'll eventually rust out or grow whatever. That's how they make them. Anyway, you know what I'm going to do? I think I got this one cleaned up enough I don't have to pull it, because that's a bitch on a good day. I mean, you can take the cap off, but that's all. Yeah, can't really get an impact to pull these. Take the cap off and you can get to the main bolt that holds everything together. But that doesn't do what you need to do, because you need to take this off the turtle, so you can then, well, once you get these bolts out, this comes off and the turtle comes off. Then you can get into the shock hub and pull it off and clean it underneath it. Because trying to put that all back on in one unit is not fun. I've done it. It's actually easier to take it apart to do it. But it's a pain in the ass, because you got to use a swivel to get on it and a long extension to get up here so you can get lined up straighter. Anyway, you know what I'm doing. I haven't got very far. I worked on the impact. The keepers on that one and on our little 3/8 butterfly are screwed up. And I jerry-rigged this one when we were using it. Now I'm trying to get what I did off, because we bought new O-ring and then a clip that goes over it. The other one wasn't too bad because it'd never been changed, but this one, when we were fighting it so hard a while back, working on the baler, found a piece of wire to wrap on there and made it work, and it doesn't work real well, so now I'm trying to get it off. And in the midst of things, it started to tinkle, so I thought I better put the bike under roof. And when I jumped on the bike, I went up and got the mail, looked back down, and the Asplin crew was done. So, let them out. They're still parked up here on the driveway. The driver, he left the other two down there. They were walking up and they were going to get the gates on the way out, and the cows were all out. So I dropped the top one, went to the bottom of the hill, thanked them for getting it done and for closing the gate. And they walked up the hill, and I figured, oh, you know, he'd be parked over here. Oh, no, he hooked her up there. I give the lead guy a bad time about it, and I said, "Oh, what'd you do to piss him off?" And he finally says, "Well, he did slip in the creek." So maybe that's it. I don't know. But anyway, and we're past the time frame that they were supposed to be here to get the Tahoe. Guess what? It's still here. Now it's beyond irritating. I think Becky's going to call the outfit and ask him what the hell, because it's bullshit. I mean, the first time's one thing, you know. They had guy called, said they had truck trouble. He could have possibly been here by 9 p.m. Well, I'm sorry, I get up early enough at 9 p.m. I'm not going back out for somebody unless I'm still in the field. And you know, then it was, oh, it's going to be 3 to 8 p.m. Well, we've had 2 of those and no phone call, no nothing. Well, actually a phone call, but from their dispatcher. So it's like, and then nothing shows up. And then, oh, well, gee, you know, at 8 o'clock, they're an hour away or an hour and a half away, depending on which driver they sent. That's kind of stupid. So figure out what the hell's going on. Well, I know there's other outfits, but I mean, God, the Tahoe will make the 4th vehicle we've sent that direction to the same company. And the first 3, Brooke had a Hyundai Tucson. Well, it died at 60,000 miles. Number 2 rod bearing goes out on those because lack of lubrication. That's a common issue with them. And that's what happened. And there were no engines in captivity, not even any used ones. The only used ones I could find had 60 plus miles on them, and they were out of a junkyard. Well, guess why they were in the junkyard? Because they probably had the same problem. At the time, there was 3 cars sitting on Beaverton Hyundai's lot that had been there for over 6 months waiting for new engines because of the same issue. The other one was Dad's 01 Chevy pickup that he totaled. And the other one was our 90 one-ton flatbed that, I mean, it was time to get rid of it, you know. Had issues with trying to keep it running. Already changed the ignition module twice in it, and I'm sure that's what the problem was again. So it went. And now the Tahoe. And now they don't want to come get it. I mean, the other times, the middle of the time frame given is when they showed up. They called right after the time frame was supposed to start. Yep, on my way. I'll be there in an hour. And right on the money every time. Anyway, I got to get you a little more Blakely. Oh yeah, and she's hiding behind you. He just went to sleep. She's been asleep. Brooke got off. No, Brooke isn't getting off yet. Matt got off at noon. And yeah, screwy thing when only one of them drives. Brooke can't get off early. She's got too much she's got to get done yet. And they are getting on a plane early tomorrow morning to end up headed to Florida to visit Matt's mom. Be the first time she's seen Blakely. No, I take that back. She was here for Christmas. She came here. Never mind. So that's what they're going to do. Then they'll be back Sunday night, I guess. I don't know. So we aren't going to see her for a few days. And I hope everything goes well with their flight. And I hope her snot-headedness doesn't affect her too badly. She seems much better than she was. So there you go, everybody. Becky's going to go in and pick Matt up and take him and Blakely home so Brooke can finish her day out. Well, Red Man came out here to help me. He wanted to get out of the rain. It's still raining. We've got at least 3/10 of an inch so far today. The driveway is actually kind of soft to walk on now. And no, I have not pulled a single one off yet. I already told you I changed the pieces on the end of that one. That wasn't too hard. That 3/8 drive, that was a pain in the ass. I finally got the old piece off, the one I'd made, and slipped the new O-ring on. That's what's underneath. I'll show you. Try not to disturb him. He always thinks he's got to get up to get out of the way, and usually steps in the way of doing it. And the little bag of tricks, those are just O-rings. The big ones go on the half drive, the small ones go on the 3/8 drive. And there's the clips, half drive and 3/8 drive. The half drive one's big enough that you just flip it on. But that one, there's a little size for my finger. I actually ended up getting a pair of, and actually it spread out too far. It stayed spread. I thought it was going to. I might have to play with it some. The only way I'd get that on was to force it over these and literally spread it to get it on, where the other one was big enough it would slip on kind of like an O-ring. I got one side started and just rolled it around. I haven't tried a socket on this one yet. I guess I'm going to do that right now. Good time to do it, huh? Right here, one-handed, and find out it goes on hard. Yep. Because it's spread too wide. You can see there at the end, it's hanging out a little too much. Guess I got more work to do on it. Story of my life. Anyway, I got hung up in the house way too long. Went in, got lunch ready. Askelin's supervisor that I met the other day when the fire company's forester come out, he wanted to come take pictures of the job they did down there so he could show it, send them to the forester to say, yep, this job is done, so they can get their money for that. And then Ty being sick, she keeps wanting her mother with her, so I walk in, I end up stuck with Blakely, asleep on my lap forever. Finally finished lunch, made it back out here, and the day's just almost over. And here you go, where those cedar trees used to be. The cows are up there hiding underneath those cedar trees that aren't there anymore to stay out of the rain. Sounds reasonable, right? And oh yeah, and phone call from the outfit we're selling the Tahoe to, or selling it through, I should say. Becky went online and said, hey, this is bullshit. And it was about 20 minutes later, I got a phone call. Very nice gal, apologetic for the experience we've had this time around. And I think I might have already mentioned it. Anyway, we're getting like $200 more for it with a different outfit picking it up. So I'm good with that. I think the way it works is they're probably like a online auction type thing where you know, hey, this is what I've got, this is the condition, and they throw it out there to their buyers, and then their buyers, you know, oh, I'll give you this much, or I'll give you this much, and they pick whatever the high is, I'm assuming. And you know, it's done within minutes. And I got a feeling that the reason it took a while to, you know, between the email and calling me is probably because that's what they do, and they put it back out there, and a different buyer says, I'll take it for this much. You know, may have been somebody that was trying to get it before it didn't. I have no idea. But anyway, that's what I know. Sorry, I had to cut you short. I had a few sneezes to get rid of them. Oh yeah, I listened in on part of a phone call that Becky had. She got a phone call, and it's like, it sounds kind of important. So I stuck around, and of course, since she was walked off on a phone call, I had to keep an eye on Blakely. It was insurance company that screwed us when Dad died. When Dad died, and we said, okay, hey, he's passed, you know, we need the money. And they said, oh, well, you didn't disclose that he had COPD. Bullshit. Their agent that was out here, the slimy son of a bitch, excuse me, that's what I thought of him the first day I saw him, and I still think of him that way today. if he pulled in the driveway right now, if he got out of his vehicle without leaving right away, he'd probably be laying on the ground. Well, no, I know he'd be laying on the ground. He neglected to write that down when he was filling out the application for the policy when it was changed. It used to be a whole life policy, and then it was changed to whatever. It was supposed to be better. Well, yeah, he just screwed us. It took us 2.5 years. Out of a $20,000 policy, we finally got almost $7,000. In the meantime, that $20,000 would have gone to suffice the credit line from the bank that the bank demanded immediate payment on when Dad died. You know, little things like that. This one for Mom, when they were changing stuff, hers, we opted to go for a care type deal. And what it says on the policy that we have, it says that I cannot be a caregiver for my parents, and my wife cannot be a caregiver for my parents. But my children could. So Thailand has done a good share of it. A whole $13,250, I think, is what they'd pay. Well, the gal says, blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, you better read your policy. It has to be a certified caregiver. Becky read the policy. The only thing in the policy says that they are willing to pay for someone to, how does it put? Basically, if the caregiver wanted to have some type of training, they would pay for that training. Doesn't say anywhere about the policy requires the caregiver to be a certified caregiver. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, I knew that was a bad deal when Mom and Dad set them up that way, but you know, life in the fast lane. And I believe I've mentioned it before. Brother Ed put that there. I think I'll put it away. Banker's life. If you have anything to do with them, don't. My opinion of them, and of the representatives that have been here to the house on their behalf, I'd rather step in dog shit and wipe it off with my fingers and lick my fingers clean. Honestly. And I don't like dog shit. I really don't. I'll walk in cow shit all day long. Doesn't bother me. But that's my opinion. And I haven't heard anything from anybody to sway my opinion at all on them. All that kind of crap is a farce. So, you know, I mean, Mom and Dad paid into that crap for 40, 50 years in the end, because they upgraded or changed whatever in the middle. Yeah. Now, I don't know what it looks like from down there, but if you can see, that's what it looks like now. Everything's stacked up on the other side of the creek, which that's where the trees were. That's where he was trying to throw them. Yeah, we can deal with that later, one way or another. Even if it's with a little bit of diesel in a match. Anyway, I've rambled too long once again. I'm going to go feed here in a little bit, probably call it a day, and maybe tomorrow will be better, and I will actually get something done on this and get the flock out of here. Get it put away. It still has to get greased. A little bit of still has to get greased. And they can both go right in this first, of course. That, I think I greased it. I know we sprayed cable and chain lube on the slides up on top. I know I did that. I think I greased it. I don't remember. Anyway, I got to move a bunch of stuff before that can get put away. And I don't know how long the rain's going to last, but it's going to be here for however long it's going to be here. And that's what it's going to be. So, there was something else I was going to say, and I totally... Oh, yeah. Plans changed with Brooke. Becky's still in the house babysitting Thailand and Blakely. Brooke talked to her boss and ended up actually getting off a little bit early. But instead of coming out here to get Blakely, they went home so they could get stuff ready to leave on their trip and get a few things done at the house. Then they are going to come out here and take Becky's car home and load all their stuff in it. And in the morning, they'll come out and pick Becky up so Becky can bring her car home. That's how it's going to work. That way Becky can get a little more sleep. She didn't sleep much last night. No, none of us did. Ty was too busy puking half the night. So he'll just make it easier on everybody. And then I guess I'll have Brooke's truck out here to drive around. I can go out and rip up some fields or something, right? Anyway, actually, I got a bunch of stuff here that's hers. I might put it in the back of her pickup while they're gone. And when they come home, they can take it home. I gave her the bumper that came off the front of my pickup after she wrecked it. Nice winch bumper. No winch for it, but it's still a good bumper except for the brush guard on top's bent up. And when she got that pickup, she bought a B&W gooseneck hitch to put in it, which she has not done. It's still back there in my way. And the pickup has already got the cutouts for it. It's just a matter of lifting the box up, sliding the rail in, and bolting it in. Yeah, a couple other things. They'll all fit in the back of her pickup. Glad I thought about that. They can keep that at her place. That way I don't have to store it. If I got to keep storing it, I may fix that bumper up and put it on Mom's pickup. But I don't think, it'll fit one way or the other. If it'll fit Brooks, it'll fit hers. Brooks is an 05, Mom's is an 07. I think all the bolt holes are the same. Maybe. I think they're the same brackets. Even to mine, which is a 02. Just different body style. Tin's different, frame's the same. Okay, now that's enough gabbing. I mean, God, we're probably over 20 minutes by now. So, thank you all for watching. Hope you all had a great hump day. Hope everybody has a great Thursday.